Hi there. It's still February 28th, and we're going to finish up Proverbs for this month. We have chapters 30 and 31 to do. Let's jump over there. 30 is really important. It kind of wraps the whole thing up. Okay. It's one of my favorite chapters in the whole thing. And it tells you what wisdom is. We've been seeking wisdom this whole time. Okay. The words of Agar, the son of Jacob, the oracle. The man declares the Ithiel to Ithiel and Ukal, which are. Here you go. Surely I am more stupid than any man, and I do not have the understanding of a man, neither have I learned wisdom, nor do I have the knowledge of the Holy One. Okay? Part of being wise, the most important thing about being wise, is to realize that you will never be all-knowing, okay? That you are not wise. Everybody on earth knows something you don't know. Only God can know everything, right? That's the answer right there. Who has ascended into heaven and descended? It's Jesus, right? Who has gathered the wind in his fists? Who has wrapped the waters in his garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? Okay, now listen to this. What is his name? And it says and, okay. And what is his son's name? Surely you know. Okay. Now this is, thousands of years before Jesus ever walked the earth. Every word of God is tested. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. All right. This we're reading right here. Important. Do not add to his words, or he will reprove you, and you will be proved a liar. There have been many, many doctrines that come into effect because people add to his words. Okay? And they're always found out. Okay? They're always found out. Okay. Now this is Agar's prayer. Okay? And it's a good prayer. Okay? One of the best prayers in the Bible. Two things I ask of you, God, right? Do not refuse me before I die. Keep deception and lies far from me. Okay? Words of falsehood. And this is important. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food that is my portion, that I may not be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or that I may not be in want and steal and profane the name of my God. Okay? It's Agar's prayer. Okay? And that's really important. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Too much money, you'll forget who the Lord is. Right? Not enough, you may be forced to steal just to feed yourself. Remember that prayer. Do not slander a slave to his master, or he will curse you and you will be found guilty. There is a kind of man who curses his father and does not bless his mother. There is a kind who is pure in his own eyes, yet is not washed from his filthiness. All right? It says generation. Okay? And most of these are generations in all the book. There is a generation. All right? There is a kind or generation. Oh, how lofty are his eyes, and his eyelids are raised in arrogance, looking down on people, right? There is a generation. There is a generation or kind of man whose teeth are like swords and his jaws are like knives, to devour the afflicted from the earth and the needy from among men. Okay? These are important. There is a generation, awful people. Every generation has those too. The leech has two daughters, give and give. Okay. This is an interesting statement that I didn't get for a long time, okay, until you looked into the leech. The leech has a forked tongue, okay? Each one of those forks is always looking for blood. They call them daughters. The forked tongue of the leech. Always looking for blood. All right. Okay, 304. There are three things that will not be satisfied for that will not say enough. Okay. Sheol, hell is never satisfied. The barren womb, right? Earth that is never satisfied with water. And fire that never says enough. Okay? Sheol, the barren womb, earth never satisfied with water. If it doesn't keep raining, they dry up and turn into deserts, right? And fire that never says enough. You stop feeding a fire, it goes out. Always have to be fed. Okay. The eye that mocks a father and scorns a mother, the ravens of the valley will pick it out, and the young eagles will eat it. Okay? Honor your parents. Okay? No matter what. Okay, here's another one. There are 3 things which are too wonderful for me, 4 which I do not understand. The way of an eagle in the sky. The way of a serpent on a rock. The way of a ship in the middle of the sea. And the way of a man with a maid. I always highlight that because it's funny. Okay. Have you ever seen a group of rough and tough guys hanging out, drinking beers, having a good time, and then a pretty girl walks in, and they all turn into blithering idiots? Okay. It's fun to watch. Can you understand it? No. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done no wrong. Okay. Now there's a note over here. Okay. She hath her desires, and after counterfeiteth as though she were an honest woman. Right? Pretends she didn't do nothing. That's an adulterous woman. Adultery is when a married person goes with somebody who is not their spouse. Okay? Okay, another 3, no 4. Under 3 things the earth quakes, under 4 it cannot bear up. A slave who becomes a king. A fool when he is satisfied with food. An unloved woman when she gets a husband. And a maidservant when she supplants her mistress. This happens, okay? The earth cannot bear up under that kind of stuff. 4 things are small on the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. Okay? The ants are not a strong people, but they prepare their food in the summer, right? And these have no leaders, okay? Ants have no leaders. They all work together. Usually in the middle of the night in your kitchen, right? The Chephonim, there's a new one. It's kind of like rock badger, right? Small shy furry animals found in the peninsula of the Sinai, northern Israel, and the region around the Dead Sea. They're also called rock badgers, okay? Are not a mighty people, yet they make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet all of them go out in ranks, right? All together like an army with no leader. Interesting, huh? The lizard you may grasp with the hands, yet it is in kings' palaces. They get everywhere. Some say lizards, some say spiders, okay? There's a note over here. If man be not able to compass these common things by his wisdom, we cannot attribute wisdom to man, but folly. There's another 3, no 4. There are 3 things which are stately in their march, even 4 which are stately when they walk. The lion which is mighty among beasts and does not retreat before any. The strutting rooster. The male goat also. And a king when his army is with him, right? You got all those people behind you, you're not afraid till they turn on you, right? Okay, 32 and 33. If you have been foolish in exalting yourself, or if you have plotted evil, put your hand on your mouth. Right? For the churning of milk produces butter, pressing the nose brings forth blood. So the churning of anger produces strife or trouble. Okay? If you have been foolish in exalting yourself, prideful, arrogant, conceited, right, or plotting evil, shut up. Put your hand on your mouth. Right? All these things are asking for a fight. And there you go. That's Proverbs 30, a very important one. I'll go to the highlights real quick. Wisdom. Okay. Surely I am more stupid than any man, and do not have the understanding of a man. Neither have I learned wisdom. nor do I have the knowledge of the Holy One. Okay? He says this, and this is put at the very end of Proverbs after all the study and after all the looking at wisdom and after all the stuff. You realize that you have only taken a cup of water out of the ocean, okay? I'm wise now. The whole ocean is there that you don't know, okay? We can never be all wise. That's the most important thing about wisdom, is to realize that you can never be all wise. Okay? And everybody on earth will know something that you don't know. You can't know everyone's secrets. Only God knows that. Right? You can't know everything about God, okay? I can't even understand how he created man out of mud with all the intricate parts and the workings and the nerves and, okay? You can't understand that. Okay? And this part, what is his name? And, or what is his son's name? Surely you know. 1,000 years before Christ. Okay? 6 is highlighted. Do not add to his words, or he will reprove you, and you will be found a liar. Right? Right. Don't add to the Bible. Don't say the Bible says something when it doesn't say it. A lot of people do that. And they get in trouble eventually. Right? Okay, and Agger's prayer. This is called Agger's prayer, okay? 2 things I ask of you: do not refuse me before I die. Keep deception and lies or words of falsehood far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Right? Feed me with the food that is my portion, that I may not be full, that I not be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or rich or full or too much money and forget who God is. Or that I may not be in want and steal and profane the name of my God. Can you pray that and mean it? And the generations. There is a generation of men who curses his father and does not bless his mother. There is a generation who is pure in his own eyes, yet not washed from his filthiness. There is a generation. Oh, how lofty there are his eyes, and his eyelids are raised in arrogance. Right? Arrogant, pride, conceit, abominable to God. There's a generation of men whose teeth are like swords and his jaw teeth like knives, to devour the afflicted from the earth and the needy from among men. Right? There are people like that. Right? The leech has 2 daughters, give and give. Forked tongue. Okay? And the 4 things are too wonderful for him to understand. How eagles fly, a serpent, how a snake moves on a rock. It's interesting, huh? How a ship works in the middle of the sea. I don't know that. People do. I don't. Right? In the way of a man with a maid. Right? The way guys act when a pretty girl walks into the room. And 4 things. Lizards. I highlighted that because some say lizards and some say spider. Right? Okay. The strutting rooster. I don't know why that's highlighted. Girt in the loins. Okay, there you go. That's Proverbs 30, a very important one. Now let's jump over to 31. Okay. Now this part is King Solomon's right here. Okay. And it's a small part, and then there's a very old acrostic poem that we'll read, and then we'll be finished with Proverbs for February. Okay. The words of King Lemuel, the oracle, which his mother taught him. Okay, King Lemuel is Solomon. Okay, that is a pet term that his mother Bathsheba called him. Okay, and this is what she said, what she taught him. What, O my son, and what, O son of my womb, what son of my vows? Do not give your strength to women or your ways to that which destroy kings. He did just that, didn't he? Did he listen to his mom? No. That was his ruin, okay? 700 wives, most of them princesses, were spoiled. It is not for kings, O mule, it is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to desire strong drink, for they will drink and forget what is decreed, and pervert the rights of all the afflicted. Right? Did you know that? Rulers and kings should not drink. It changes you. It makes you forget things. Right? Think about that. A lot of them do. Right? So who should drink? Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to him whose life is bitter. Right? Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his trouble no more. Right? So it's okay to drink once in a while, to forget a hard week or you're in trouble. So you get some friends over and don't get drunk. It doesn't say to get drunk, okay? Right? There. Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all the unfortunate. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and defend the rights of the afflicted and needy. Right? Got that? Those are the words of Bathsheba to King Lemuel. King Solomon. Okay, good stuff in there. Okay? You know what Solomon did? Right here. She warned him. Okay, she warned him. Mother told you so. Should listen to your mother, right? Now this right here, they added this. This is a description of a worthy woman, it calls here. But this is an old acrostic poem. Acrostic means it goes in order of the letters of the alphabet, much like an ABC book. This would have been taught to young girls, okay? And it's not one person, okay? It's the attributes of good wives. An excellent wife who can find, for her worth is far above jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She looks for wool and flax, and works with her hands in delight. She is like merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it is still night, and gives food to her household and portions to her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. From her earnings she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She senses that her gain is good. Her lamp does not go out at night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hands grasp a spindle. That's a spinning wheel, okay? She extends her hands to the poor and stretches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. Or double, some of them say, right? She makes coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. When he sits among the elders of the land, she makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies pelts to the tradesmen. Right? Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she smiles at the future. She opens her mouth in wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and bless her. Her husband also praises her, saying, "Many daughters have done nobly, but you excel them all." Right. And I always highlight this verse. I like this one. Yeah. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Right. Give her the product of her hands and let her work praise her in the gates. There you go. That's the acrostic poem about wives. And this is what we highlight in here, okay? Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. All that goes away, okay? Find a woman who fears the Lord, who loves God. All right, and you will find a good wife. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. Okay? Because all that stuff never lasts. A heart for God, that lasts, okay? Oh, there you go. We didn't highlight a lot in here. We did highlight, what Solomon did. Don't give your strength to women or your ways to that which destroy kings. That's just what he did, and that's just what it did, okay? Destroyed him. Mostly because he had 700 wives. He kept expanding his kingdom by marrying princesses in other kingdoms and gaining their land. But the women became unhappy and contentious and complained, and they brought their own gods with them when they married Solomon, and Solomon allowed them to build temples to their false gods. Right? And he was wise. He knew better. God said, he wasn't having that. Okay? You do not. God, his main thing, thou shalt have no other gods. Okay? And he let him do it when he knew better. Okay? Ways that which destroy kings. Okay? And this is rulers shouldn't drink. Okay? And therefore they will drink and forget what is decreed and pervert the rights of the afflicted. Judgment of the sons of affliction. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to him whose life is bitter. Okay? Bitter of soul. Okay? Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his trouble no more. Okay? It's okay to have a drink sometimes. It's never okay to get drunk. Okay? Okay. So, there you go. We talked about that. So, there you have it. That's the end of Proverbs for February. Okay? And have it all, another book. That was the 18th time. Tomorrow we will start the 19th time through Proverbs. We'll use a new translation. I'm not sure which one yet. Okay, I'll let you tomorrow. Maybe the New Living or, the old NIV or something like that if I can find one. But we'll have a new translation to get a new twist on it, okay, of the same words. So stay tuned later on. We will do, in a couple hours here, we will, on day 58, I believe, or 59 of our Through the Bible in 1 year. Okay, I can't remember which day. Let me look real quick. 59, around day 59. Right? And we're doing, we can find out real quick. The second half of Mark 6 today. Okay, 5,000 fed. Okay? That was a good one. And we'll talk about that. So stay tuned later for that. Give us a like if you think about it. Thanks for joining me this month on another trip through Proverbs, and we'll begin again next month. Okay, our goal is to do it 24 times. Okay, next month will be 19 starting tomorrow. So join us if you can. Give us a like if you think about it. But until next time, we'll see ya.